Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about soil plant water relationship. The soil is a three-phase matter which consists of solid, liquid, and gaseous phase. Solid in the form of soil organic matter, liquid in the form of soil water, and gas in the form of soil air. And also, when the water is occupied on the soil pore space, it creates some stress. It may be the metric potential, metric pressure, potential pressure forces, osmotic forces will be. And also, when the plant is grown on the soil, the root will develop on the soil column with the pore spaces, and the water will also uptake by the plant in the soil water, as in the case of capillary water, as in the different waters we are having of soil water like capillary water, gravitational water, and hygroscopic water. Among these three waters, the capillary water will be the useful water for the plant, and when the water is uptake by the root on the plant, the moisture extraction pattern is decided by the root of the particular plant. For example, if the water is taken by the root of the plant, the total depth of the total depth of the root zone is about 100%. Means this 100% of the root depth will be divided into 4 equal chords which each carries 25%. So the first 25%, second 25%, third 25%, and fourth 25% effective root zone. And when we are providing the irrigation water on the plant will uptake about 40% of the water in the first 25% of the root depth, and 30% of the water in the second 25% of the root zone, and 20% of the water will be uptake by the plant root in the third quarter of the root depth. That means third 25% of the root zone, and remaining 10% of the water will uptake by the fourth 25% of the root zone depth. So in the root water uptake by the plant, major amount of the water will be uptake by the plant in the first 2 quarters. That means the 50% of the first 50% of the FT root zone depth, the water will uptake by the plant. So with the quantity of about 40% of water in the first quarter and 30% of the water in the second quarter. So in the first 50% root zone depth, there totally 40 plus 30, 70% of the water is uptaken by the root, so that it is effectively utilized by the plant for its survival and metabolic activities. So this is called moisture extraction pattern. And also the soil wetting is depends upon the soil, different type of soil, like a texture of the soil or structure of the soil, and its physical, chemical, and biological properties of the soil. For example, we can take 3 different types of soil, such as sandy soil, clay soil, as well as the loamy soil. The sandy soil is a composition of texture of sand composition is major. Second one is the clay soil is the clay content is in texture is more, and loamy soil the combination of sand, silt, and clay, and silt percentage is also occurs on the soil. So when the irrigation takes place in these 3 different type of soils, the sandy soil will percolate the water by gravity force more, so the horizontal vertical movement of the water or percolation is high, so the wetting pattern is more in vertical, so that there is much more in not much more in the lateral movement. And the simultaneously in the other end, the clay soils are the pore space are very very minimum, so that due to the gravity force of the water may percolate very slowly since the permeability of the soil is low, and it attains the very minimal depth of the root zone vertically, and whereas in the horizontally or laterally it will take more distance from the source of water. So this is the nature of the clay, and when comparing with this sand and clay along with loamy soil is a moderate soil which consists of three soil textures such as sand, silt and clay. So this will be moderate wetting will occurs in the soil, so this soil is a good soil for cultivation. So in this soil the wetting pattern will occurs like the lesser depth of root zone compared to sandy soil, and more depth of wetting in loamy soil as compared to the clay soil. This is what depth wise, and comparatively the lateral movement of the soil is less lateral movement in the loamy soil as compared to the clay soil, and more lateral movement of the soil as compared to the sandy soil. So with this information is very required, or wetting pattern and moisture extraction pattern of the different soil is very important for irrigation and drainage purpose of the various soil types. Thank you.